gathering information and going online, which is a very common way to do it. Was that helpful?
Yes and no. If you look at what is online, when you search for prostate cancer, there is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different sites. I put them in two categories. There are the sites that are being generated from hospitals or the scientific community, which are very hard to understand unless you have a pretty good understanding of some of the terminology. And then there are what I would call the forums and the blog sites and all of those areas where people who are going through this talk about it. Yeah. And that's quite a depressing and scary area because they're people with advanced cancer and they're talking about some pretty full-on stuff. Was there anything online that actually helped me as somebody going through this that was in plain language? No. No. And I think that's a gap in this. You want to be able to understand that there are options available to you in surgery. You want to know that there are people like yourself going through this and how they've dealt with this and what their outcomes are. You're like a sponge for peace of mind. Yeah. And peace of mind really comes in this area from being able to empower yourself with information. And I found it very difficult to find that information. Yeah. It wasn't until I saw I had my referral, I should say, to my second urologist that I was able to gain that peace of mind. And that was probably the best day in my life because all of my concerns were addressed. It made sense to me. I was given 2 hours of conversation, which I really appreciated. And I had a path to go from where I was forward. And I had, not assurances, but I had statistical information presented to me that showed, well, in this situation, your outcomes are going to be like this, which are quite good. And that's what you want to hear. You know, you want somebody to be on that journey with you and reassure you. And not just say, you've got this, you've got to deal with it. Hopefully you'll come out the other end with this, this and this, but there's no guarantees. Not good enough. I'm just so glad that I challenged what was being told to me and I didn't just accept that.
So your message, I guess, to other men who are diagnosed with prostate cancer is perhaps be your own advocate, seek information, seek other opinions if you're not feel you're not getting the full information.
I don't know if advocacy is the right word for it. I think you have to become self-aware. You have to be strong, and you have to say, okay, I'm going to take charge of what's happening to me, and I'm going to empower myself and read as much as I can, talk to people about what's happening to me, so that when I'm talking to an expert or a specialist about this, I fully understand what's being said to me, and I have the ability to challenge what they're saying if that doesn't make sense. And I think you can only do that when there are different outcomes or possibilities for you to follow. Yep. I've spoken to a lot of friends and people in business that have gone through this, obviously, as I have, and they weren't aware of the treatment options available. I'm so glad that I took the path that I did because, my outcome has been really positive, and I don't know if I would have had that same outcome if I hadn't have challenged what was being said to me. I'm not being negative towards the experts in this area, but I just think you need to have that awareness that you can make the decision yourself if I'm going down the right path. And I'm so happy I did that.
Sounds like you've had the courage to ask questions, challenge the information that's being given to you, and then seek other opinions, which isn't always easy to do in the face of conventional medicine, but clearly you feel better about your choices as a result.
Yes. Yeah, I do. I feel that I've made the right choices. I have a passion now for talking to as many people as I can, because, you know, this is a major cause of death for Australian men, let alone globally. And I think the best thing that we can do, the thing that I'm passionate about, is awareness. We need to get over the fear of this digital exam side. You know, it's not about that. It's about a blood test to start with. And, you know, if you have to have a digital exam, you know, that's a 30-second thing. We don't know really what is causing this, but what we do know is that the incidence is very high, and if we get it early, it is the most treatable form of cancer. I'm just grateful that I've been able to get to it in time. Somebody said to me the other day that, you know, it's all about being a man and being a real man, and it is. It is. We can't put our head in the sand, you know, take responsibility for our own health, because at the end of the day, we have a lot of people around us, you know, our kids, our partners who depend on us, and they don't want us to go away.
That's true. At least you hope not.
No, well, sometimes maybe.